I'm Danny. I'm from Sweden, live just outside Stockholm, and like things with engines. Motorbikes, cars, boats. I work as an alcoholic, as an electronic boat engineer, installations and doing stuff on boats and repairing stuff. And in my spare time I do this man-caving thing with myself. I live here in the house, and this is my garage where I build cars. I could build a BMW, but it seems boring. I like something more not mainstream. So I stumbled upon this behind me. It's a Matra Bagheera from it's a French car built in 1977, and was a total rust bucket, but luckily for me someone before me had fixed all the rust, almost all the rust, and made a pretty good job replacing almost the whole entire chassis, so that's good for me. The body is fiberglass, so it's at this point quite easy to take on and off because it's practically a shell that I can lift off. It's quite naked at this time, so it looks a bit naked, but I will take some pictures with the body on it, and it's not a functional car yet, but it's pretty close. I think it's stored up in maybe 4 or 5 weeks time. I have to work, unfortunately, so I don't have all the time in the world to spend in my man cave, but I do in progress. Really good. Right, let's take a look at it. This is a mid-engine car. The engine is just in front of the wheel axles, so it's practically a super sport car, and I like that. This engine is a Volkswagen V5, 5-cylinder V engine from a Golf or Bora or Passat, but this is from a Bora. It's basically a VR6 engine with one cylinder chopped off to get it smaller. So it's the whole package is from the Bora. I just moved it back here and bolted it in with my nice brackets, and it have Viseco forged pistons in it with the lower compression. It's around 9.5 to 1. So it's I wanted to turbocharge it to get around maybe between 300 and 400 horsepower out of it. It's only 4 times as much as it was from the beginning. That's pretty alright. I built a roll cage to keep the car from twisting itself, and it's going to be certified as a race car. That's why the seats and the harnesses and all that kind of stuff going to be FIA approved. And to make it a little bit more difficult, I'm going to try to make it street legal as well, to be able to drive it on the street and chop some beamers. This sunroof is going to get off. It's going to be deleted. Just gonna put plastic on it, fiberglass. This is still a piece of the chili roof. Just take it off like this. Really solid. What could possibly go wrong? Just look at that. It's the bushing and the bracket and the bolt. I made this with my bare small hands, and it looks probably like shit, but it works. And the bushing is from a Honda Prelude rear suspension arm polyurethane thing, and the metal is from my scrap box. On the other side it's another bracket with another Honda suspension bushing. Sorry about the lighting, it's quite narrow in here. And there's a bit of a Kamasa ratchet handle, and yeah, back. Here, some homemade brackets for the brakes. It's actually the original brackets. Then I put on some old tools to get the right height, and I don't know, it works. Same on the other side, of course. And this is just it is a piece from a battery charger, the chassis from an old Victron battery charger, and some nuts. I have to move it down to this bracket here. It's made from a shock absorber from this car actually, and then there's a bracket, a piece of metal from the cover of my boat, and there's some piping and some bolts, some welding, and some swearing. Yeah. I fixed the floor here. It's fucking mint. Actually, I had to cut out some pieces to get the chair, to get the clearance to my head, because the car is so low. My head hits the roof when I have the helmet on. So I made some modifications to the floor. That's perfect. Nice. Really nice. I'm gonna paint it, of course, to keep it from rusting. And here's behind this heat shielding, it's Kevlar and reinforced. You can see it on the top, the yellow thing. It's Aramid, and then epoxy, and then some really good heat shielding. If the engine or gearbox explodes, it could happen, and I don't have all the parts in my back. It's really, really good. Here I welded some steel bars. This is actually a reinforcement for the door in my racing Fiat. It was removed because I added lightness to the car. But this is really good. It's keeping the front end stiff, and it's a bracket for the radiator and some rubber mounts from the Basto heater. And here's some other brackets, really nice, welded like from the bottom of my heart. This plate was quite good actually. It turned out pretty decent. The car is rear end drive. It's gonna have a totally flat bottom. That's bad. Shifting box is that's the shifting mechanism. The whole unit is, I took it out from the Volkswagen. It's a pretty neat package. Everything is inside. So I just have to make this control cables longer to reach to the back. But just buy some boat cables and just do it. The car is gonna have a flat cover on underneath, so it's gonna be quite good for aerodynamics, or how do you say it? This is a total. Here is some really nice brackets for the tank holding it down, made from some aluminum, and then this bottom, nice bottom. fuel cell, no power steering, it's just manual steering. Power brakes. It's from a Saab. Good stuff. Here you can see the brackets for the brakes in the front. No, we cannot. Maybe. Made from aluminum, water cutout with some water cutting guys made it for me. And then I just bolted them onto this marvelous brake caliper. And some custom made brake hoses, and you see I need some shocks. Please give me some shocks. Not electric shocks. I can handle that by myself in my profession. Front suspension is going to be stock. Rear suspension is going to be stock. Except for the springs and that kind of stuff. Wheel cooling. There's going to be some scoops on the side to get the air inside and out. Here I made this. This intake is a VR6 because the stock intake on this car is made from plastic. It's going to explode if I turbocharge it. But because the VR6 and the VR5 is basically the same engine, the bolt patterns are the same. So I just chopped off one cylinder of it and welded it together. And I don't know how it's going to work, but that's what I'm going to find out. Yeah. There's the floor. Needed some clearance. Here I made some. The window was here, but it interfered with the roll cage, so I just made a plate, and turned out really good. The rear window is actually totally flat, so I can just cut it to fit, to get smaller. It's actually really good, and it's going to be good. And this reinforcement here, I made that one from some metal because there was a reinforcement on the other side in the engine bay, but that interfered with the intake, so I just cut it off and made another one. I don't know if it's gonna work. It looks good. No, it doesn't, but it's a race car finish. It's gonna be quick and ugly, just like me. This car also won a prize in 1975. It won the Silver Lemon for being the poorest quality car in the time. Okay. But I think it's a good base to work on. Why not? What could possibly go wrong? I don't know. Nothing. The reason I do this is because this is in my third car build. So I wanted a bit of more of a challenge, and I have a budget around $10,000, 10,000 euros to do all this, buy the car, the stuff, machining, buying parts, and so on. So I do all the work myself that I possibly can, building the cage and rebuilding the engine, except machining, of course. Yeah, so it's a challenge, but it's fun. I wanted challenges in life, so it's probably a really bad idea to do this, but it's fun. So as
what it's all about, isn't it? Cheers!